Robert, welcome back to your latest Manchester United news. We'll be talking Andoni Iraola potentially wanted as a new Manchester United manager. We have an update on Maguire as banned. We've got an update on appealing Martinez's decision. We've also got some other interesting stuff about Bayinda leaving, KROUPI Junior and SENESI. We're going all the latest Manchester United news and we'll have a conversation about it. So let's get into it. So the first thing I want to start off by talking about is the Andoni Iraola situation. So it was obviously confirmed today that he will be leaving Bournemouth at the end of the season. Someone who's a fantastic manager, and we're getting to that. But this is what the news. This is what's been said. Manchester United have Iraola high on their shortlist, and he's coveted by Crystal Palace. But sources go to the Spaniard believe he would be a contender at Liverpool and Newcastle if either decide to make a change. Arne Slot and Eddie Howe under pressure after underperforming this season. Sources have suggested that Manchester United are close to offering Michael Carrick the permanent role, but Iraola's availability may shift their thinking. Now, Iraola, obviously, if you didn't know, he manages Bournemouth in the Premier League. He's been very successful under them. Obviously, he hasn't won trophies, but has had their highest ever finish in the Premier League last season, and is on track, or highest ever points tally, I think it was last season, and is on track to beat that this season. They're a very, very good team. They just beat Arsenal on the weekend, but not even that. We see when United play them, and this season hasn't been the greatest for them, but last few weeks they've been on a great bit of form, and they're a very, very good team. They play very good football. And yeah, he's been Bournemouth, I'd say, most successful manager. He has the highest win record, around 35%. A points per game ratio of 1.78. He plays a modern brand of football. He's beaten Manchester United before, and I think he's someone who you look at, he does tick a lot of the boxes. Premier League experience, which is key. Modern day manager. Again, hasn't won a trophy or anything, but again, he does have a lot of experience, and he's managed in the Premier League, which is key. Now, for me, my ideal manager, I still don't really know who it is. I said earlier today I'll make a decision on Carrick when the season comes to an end. I think it's only fair to give that to Carrick. I think certainly making a decision now wouldn't make any sense for United, and for me to give my opinion on it. Iraola is definitely a very good candidate. He has been linked to a lot of Premier League jobs, and I think he will leave Bournemouth. Well, he is going to leave Bournemouth, and I think he will go to another top Premier League club. That's just the level of manager that he is. Whether that he is ready to make the step up to Manchester United, we know how many times we've given a modern new manager, or the next up and coming manager, a job, and how that's gone. Ten Hag and Amrin being the latest two examples. So if United are to get Iraola, it has to be back in. It has to be a project. It can't be a short-term thing. It has to be the long-term thing. And that's what we said about Amarim. But you're going to have to give a manager time. And I think Iraola, depending on what happens, offers that you get, I'm sure, as I said, Liverpool, as it said there, Liverpool, Newcastle will be interested because their respective managers are not doing great. So we will see what happens with that. I'll probably do a separate video tomorrow lunchtime talking about Iraola. Anyway, Manchester United are monitoring Bournemouth duo again. KROUPI Junior and Marco Senesi have had what is shaping up to be a summer of change at the Vitality Stadium. It was confirmed that manager Andoni Iraola, who has been linked with a United job, will leave at the end of the season, and is unlikely to be the only departure. KROUPI is attracting interest from a number of Premier League clubs, notably Liverpool and Chelsea, as well as teams in Spain. The talented 19-year-old is a forward well known to United after scoring the equaliser in their game at Old Trafford. Or in both games he scored, actually. Senesi is of interest to United at the clubs because he'll be a free agent. Chelsea and Tottenham if they stay, but also expected to be in contention. On, obviously, Manchester United signed players from Bournemouth. They do have a lot of good players. Players that I like. Alex Scott's obviously one of them. Tavernier is a very good player. Alex Jimenez, the right back. Senesi at centre back. KROUPI Junior. Trufe. Like, they have got a lot of very good players, and I'm sure, like it's been with Palace, they lost Guehi, they're going to lose their manager. They'll probably lose Wharton. Bateta might go. Now they're losing a lot of players. I think that will happen with Bournemouth. And I think if we're looking at KROUPI Junior, he's definitely a very young profile, but got a very unique profile. He's got pace, he's got power, can score goals. I think at one point he was the highest, or he scored a lot of goals in a lot of games. I don't know if he was ever the highest scorer, but I think under 21s in that sort of region, he's been fantastic. In terms of under 21 football players, I think what you get from him is a raw talent. He's someone who can still yet develop. I think if you're now able to bring him in, he would be someone who'd develop at the club. But again, we do have a lot of young strikers. Bran Kiri, Chido Obi is, and the thing is with KROUPI, he has been playing first team football. Again, he probably will cost you 50-60 million, but he's someone who does, for me, when you do watch him, he's a fantastic player. On Senesi, again, Reports are suggesting that Manchester United are unlikely to go for a centre-back. I think Murillo is my ideal choice. But if you're looking at the free agent market, which reports are suggesting that Manchester United may have to delve into that sort of market this summer because obviously limited money and we do need quite a lot of positions. SENESI is definitely one to look at. Wealth of Premier League experience. He is a very, very good defender. On the board, he's brilliant. Defensively, he's very, very good. Got a good pass on him. Physical, left-footed, Prem experience at the right age. Also won a free, which is key. But then you also have to look at, again, it's not really about United going for that. He probably will demand a lot of wages because he is a free. So we will have to wait and see what happens. KROUPI Jr. and SENESI are two players I do really like. Now, the next thing I want to talk about, Manchester United still waiting to find out if Maguire's ban will be extended, and they are expected to appeal. The Martinez decision. Now, on sort of Maguire being suspended, it's really, really key. I think getting the sort of right decision on Maguire, which ultimately it was a red card, but I don't know what they're kind of waiting to decide if it's a free match ban or not. I think the fact that it's taken this long is a concern. Like, United literally haven't played or didn't play for 24 days. Like, how has the decision not been made? It just didn't make any sense, and I think it's a massive concern. I think he probably will get suspended in the end. And again, it's just worrying. If Maguire is out, it is going to be a problem, because it's not, as I said, I've said this 3 or 4 times now. I don't worry about the centre-back partnership of Iraola and Heaven in terms of quality. I just worry about the experience, the environment. Are they ready to play together? Iraola is 20 and Heaven's 19. Like, I think individually and together they can become two fantastic players and can build a very good partnership. But right now, I just don't think that's right for Manchester United. But that has been your latest news. On Martinez, listen, it's never a red, in my opinion. It's ridiculous that decision got given. Again, you have to, you don't respect the decision. It was a very poor decision, but you have to deal with that decision and move on. He's going to be missing for 3 games, violent conduct. Like, what else is he supposed to do? It's just the inconsistency of the rest, and I talked about that earlier today. But yeah, that has been your latest news. Let me know your thoughts on the Iraola situation. As I said, I probably will do a separate video talking about it.